Liranzo, the SACP very clear, this is not about a test of physical strength, but rather a contestation of ideas. Do EFF leaders feel the same way?
Well, you know, Mkhwebane was quite clear saying that they're not out here to have a fight on the streets, but the EFF are coming out, trickling in their numbers. What you're seeing behind me is, of course, some of the elderly members of the party who have come here just next to the stage. Some are seated, just absorbing the sun, you know, just trying to keep warm in this really cold weather here in the capital. But what you're also seeing is the security force of the EFF. We understand that the CIC is going to be making his way to court now. We know that some of the office bearers, some of the senior office bearers have already come to court, but we are waiting for the CIC to make his way here. It'll be quite interesting, Xoli, to find out if he still feels the same way with regards to their strong support for the public protector. You know, just looking at what transpired yesterday at the Apex Court, where we saw that scathing judgment against the public protector. But of course, we are going to be trying to pose those questions when he does make his way here. But for now, what we are seeing is just, you know, officials from not only just regional, but as I said, national, who are just making small talk outside the right now. And of course, there's a huge media contingent that is waiting for the CIC of the EFF to make his way to the court today. But we do definitely have confirmation from the spokesperson, Busisiwe Ndlozi, telling us that he is going to be making his way here. But for now, we have not seen a single T-shirt of SACP member or members, apart from the men and women in blue, and of course the red berets. That's all.
Well, Liranzo, talk to us about the civil society organizations that have joined forces with the SACP. They were very vocal on Sunday, saying that democracy needs to be defended. Any of their members outside there?
Well, let's have a look, Xoli. From what we are seeing, as I've said, it is really just largely EFF members who have converged so far here at the North Gauteng High Court. I mean, that same grouping has really been quite vocal, saying that Pravin Gordhan needs to be protected in every single way, saying that if he is allowed to fall, then corruption will certainly not be defeated. But then we know that the SACP has also come out strongly, saying that especially after yesterday's Concord ruling, that keeping Busisiwe Mkhwebane in office is just going to be toxic to constitutional democracy. Those, of course, are the words coming from the SACP. And we also know that Mkhwebane actually telling us this morning that their fight is not one on the streets per se, but it is a fight of intellectual capacity, where they can be and will be exchanging ideas. But in terms of those civil organizations, the Katrada Foundation, as well as all, you know, groupings that have thrown their weight behind Pravin Gordhan, we are yet to see those numbers coming in right now. But what we are just seeing, as I've said, it is just the red berets making their way. They are being bussed in. There is a wait for the leader of the party to come here, and we also understand that he will be addressing members. Let's just look at more members coming in, Xoli. I'll just take you through that right now. More members are making their way towards Madiba Street and towards the court. As I said, they are trickling in slowly but surely. We understand that they're expecting about 1,000 members to come here and pledge their support for the public protector. Let's take a listen. So these are some of the EFF members that are making their way to the North Gauteng High Court. Of course, it is very important to apologize to our viewers for the vulgar words that are being used here, but I think it does demonstrate what the members are trying to portray and what the members are trying to put across. More singing is taking place, as you're seeing.
Yeah. Leranzo,
it's very important to mention that police are on standby as well.
Yeah. Leranzo, let's talk about the EFF's stance on the public protector. You spoke earlier about a scathing judgment coming out of the Constitutional Court yesterday. The SACP very clear this morning that this absolutely means that the public protector is not fit for office, and therefore a parliamentary process has got to ensue immediately. What did the EFF say yesterday about that Concord judgment against Busisiwe Mkhwebane?
I think also, Koli, because the leader of the EFF is here, that's a question that I really want to pose to him right now when he does make his way out, as to, as I've said earlier on, do they still stand by what they have been saying about the public protector? And of course, we know that they have not minced their words at all with regards to what they have been saying about Minister Pravin Gordhan, calling him a constitutional delinquent, at one point even preventing him from addressing Parliament because of their feelings towards the Minister of Public Enterprise. But I think that what we need to do is get it from the horse's mouth as to what exactly are they saying with regards to what has happened at the Apex Court. We know that the Constitutional Court was quite scathing in them saying that Busisiwe Mkhwebane basically lied under oath. And of course, this is an offense that the court takes very seriously. In fact, there are calls for her to be struck off the roll as an advocate. I mean, this is quite serious considering that she is an advocate in her own capacity. But of course, there is a cost order that we did see yesterday.
Leranzo.
But let's just take more of the live shots, and then we will try and get to the CSC as soon as it goes out of the car.
Leranzo, whilst we are getting that sound from the supporters of the EFF, you've got to, I think, put it to Julius Malema that they are very clear that they support the office of the public protector, but not exactly the person or the incumbent in the office. That has got to come out very clearly as to where do they stand.
Absolutely, Koli. That is a question to be posed to the EFF, top brass, as to is it with the individual or is it with the person who is, the office of the public protector. But I must just tell you and the viewers that it was not the CIC coming out of the car as we initially thought. It was in fact the deputy of the party, Flo Shivambu, who was coming out of that car, but he was not able to take any, questions from us. He, briefly went inside the court today. But yeah, you're quite right, Holly. We need to ask those very pertinent questions when we can. But right now, it seems like there is no opportunity at the moment because he's not here. But that question will be posed, especially with regards to if the public protector, still will enjoy the same support from this political party. But as things stand now, as you can see, they are in the numbers, Holly, and one board that does say 100% behind the public protector. That, words, those words are quite clear, Koli, as to where this party members stand.
All right, Leranzo Temba watching the situation outside the North Gauteng High Court.